Hi guys, my name is JaxoArts, and today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on Photoshop of how to do these, these cool looking logo. This is a store logo. It does look illustrated, but it's actually just all Photoshop. Everyone says my designs are illustrated, but they're actually all Photoshop. I don't even have Illustrator. So, this is the store logo I've done. I've also done this with the L7 logo. Lucky 7. The other saw, I've done it with their logo, and I've done it with the red logo. Um, like I said, for this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to do this with the saw logo. Um, so yeah. So before you get into anything, and a lot of you probably already know how to do this. If you want to probably get this dot pattern, you don't have to have this. It's up to you. I prefer it, just make the designs look better. But it's totally up to you. So to make this dot pattern, you just go to File, No. It literally takes 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes to make. You want to have the width and the height 500 by 500. The resolution, you want to have it on 300 pixels centimeter. Color mode, you want to just leave it RGB color, 8-bit, and your background content transparent. Or you can just pause it there and have a look quickly and add it in or whatever, and just click OK. So now you've got your your background, transparent background here, and you can just do this with anything. I can get a brush tool right now and just go like that, and that's it. So you can just add that. It's up to you. But I'm using a dot. So you want to use your ellipse tool for this. It's actually just a circle you're using, but it's just um ellipse tool. And all you want to do, instead of dragging it like you probably usually would, you want to just click on the transparent background, and it'll come up with this saying create ellipse. And you want to just have it like it is, just have it 100 by 100 on the width and the height in pixels, and you want to click OK. So now you've got that there. You want to just drag it to the top left, not to the very top left. You might want to just take it down a little bit from there, so it's just like in the corner, but not all the way. So once you've done this, all you need to do is go to Edit, go to Define Pattern, and in your pattern name you can call it anything you want. I'm just going to call it Tutorial for this, and click OK. So now you've got your dot pattern, so I don't need this no more. Okay, so now you want to actually make the actual logo. This is actually really simple to do. A lot of people think it's really hard and it's difficult, but it's actually really simple. And a lot of people have asked me to do this tutorial or just show them how I've done it. So yeah, I'm going to show you now. You want to go to File, New. Your width and your height, you want to have it 850 by 850 pixels. Your resolution, 300, but pixels inch this time. You want to have it 300. Your color mode, yet again, just leave it, RGB color, 8-bit. And your background contents to white. And click OK. So now you've got, this plain white background. And you want to open, now you want to just open up the logo you'll be using or the text or whatever. Some of you probably use OpenAs to get your the logo you're using and get a Photoshop document. But I don't do that. I like to use I did that with the L7 logo. But I prefer to use 2D PNG images. So yeah, like I said, I'm using the saw logo. I've done it, like I said, done it with the red logo and the saw logo. I've also done it with this Fable logo here, but I'm just gonna use the saw logo. I'll make that a bit bigger as well. Okay. So now you've got your saw logo here. Rasterize that a sec. This black PNG 2D saw logo. You want to just change the color of it because having it black will just make it really difficult to do. I'm just gonna make it orange. Whatever color you do it is up to you. And just rasterize that. You then want to duplicate your layer. There's two ways you can do this. You can either just right click here, go to duplicate layer, click OK. Or, you know, if you hold this, drag it down to the piece of paper on the second from the right, down here. You can just, you know, hold it down, drag it, and it will highlight it, and it'll just, you know, it'll just duplicate the layer. You know, I've already duplicated it, so it doesn't matter. So then what you want to do is you want to change the color. You know, you both got them orange. You want to change the color of one of them. You know, I'm going to change this color to red. At the minute you can't see it because it's, you know, you can't see it because it's behind this one. So yeah. So this red one here is actually going to be my 3D part of the logo. And this orange one is going to be my 2D part. Now, there's a certain color which I use. I actually use this orangey color because that way it makes, you know, this, you know, the white or the grey, whatever it looks like, it makes it look stand out a little bit. So yeah, this little white, this little silver looking thing or grey or whatever. You know, this is just a little hue that I put on it. So now what you want to do is do the 3D part which you're going to use. You want to get Control or Command, click T, and you know you can change the size of it. Now you want to just, you know, hold down Shift and Alt, and just make it smaller. Now if you want, you can just leave it like that, you know, and just, you know, do the 3D lines or whatever. But I prefer to just drag them down. So if you hold Shift here, you know, and just drag it, it will actually make it so it doesn't move around too much. You know, so like mine's now like this. And I'm gonna drag it down. The next thing you want to do is you wanna get your stroke, or your, you know, the lines you're gonna use. Like, you know, I've got these black lines here all going around it, make it look a bit like more cartoony. And for this, all you want to do is yet again just duplicate your layer. You want to, you know, double click on it, go to stroke, and you'll get this. You know, I like to use it 3 for the size and make it all black, and put it on the outside as well, and just click OK. You then want to just rasterize the layer, but you've still got, you know, the orangey part to it, you know. So you want to get rid of these orange parts in the middle of it. To do this, you want to just use your magic eraser tool, and you just want to click in the middle of these. So now you've got your stroke or your outline or whatever. Go back again, and you want to do the exact same thing again, just with your 3D part. You know, just duplicate the layer, double click, go to stroke, make it the same as the other one, as the one you just used. I use 3 outside black. Rasterize the layer, and then just, you know, take this part out, so that way you've got your stroke. Okay. And what I like to do as well, I like to keep my stuff all organized. You know, so it's all tidy and neat. So I call it this part 3D lines. This is my 3D part. This is my 2D logo, the 2D part, and this is the 2D lines. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to add the lines that make it all 3D. You know, like here, it would have been here, which you still see a little bit there. You want to just make these lines here, look, like the ones here, there, there's one there, look, one there, you know. So what you want to do is you want to go back to this again. You want to click your 3D lines, and you want to make a new layer. And to make a new layer, you know, all you got to do is click the piece of paper at the bottom there. And I'm going to call this lines. Oops. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next is you want to just use your pen tool. Before you actually, no, you want to use the pen tool to do the lines, but to actually get the good lines, you need your brush tool. You want to click your brush tool. Make sure it's on the same as your stroke or your outline, so it's on 3 for me. Use a hard brush, and make sure your hardness is turned all the way up, and make sure it's also on black. You know, so now I've got this is like meant to be the same size as this. You probably can't see it, but it's meant to be anyway. So yeah. So what you want to do next, just get your pen tool, zoom in to where the 3D lines should be, and you want to just click on the corners of each part. So there's one corner. Just get that better. There we go. There's the other corner, and it'll make this line. And now what you want to do is you want to just right click, come up with the options and stuff. You can make selection, you can fill the path, but you want to use stroke path. And yours might be on pencil, but you might just want to change that and put it on brush and click OK. So now you've got a line there, and you want to just do this on all of where the 3D lines should go. Like for me, it should be on there. Just right click again. This should be one here to where the should join up sort of thing. It's turning the corner. Right again, right click, stroke path, brush, enter. You want to do this, everywhere where there's gonna be lines. And you also might want to, whilst you're at it, you might want to your 2D layer. You might want to change the opacity down a little bit, so now you can see like where everything is. So the lines again. There's one here. No straight path. You just want to go all the way around and do this. Just on every single one. Yeah, even that little bits here, like you see it a little bit there. Just still add it. Doesn't really matter. It just makes that little bit more. Okay. So now you've got your 3D lines and everything. You won't be needing these lines. Like the ones you did with the 3D stroke bit. You won't be needing them. So all you want to do now is click on your 3D lines layer. You want to get your eraser tool. It doesn't matter what you have it on really. And you want to just take these out. So there's one here. Look. This you can turn back up again. The 2D, you can just turn the opacity back up again. You want to get, there's one here. It shouldn't really be here. And there's one here. This one. And even for the actual lines you just did, like these 3D lines, you'll have bits where it'll be here where it shouldn't be. Just take them out. One more here, look. Yeah, again, like I said, look, you're gonna have these lines where they shouldn't be here that you've just done for the 3D lines. Get them out, and there you go. And there's where all your lines should be sort of gone. Now what you want to do is you want to fill in all these little gaps where the little white bits are here. You want to fill them all in. There's two ways you can do this. You can either just go to your brush tool and just fill them all in or whatever. But I had to use the pen tool again. And what you want to do is when you get to your brush tool, you want to click Alt or just click there. Make sure you got the same color as your 3D. Go onto the 3D layer you've got there. You want to just zoom in. Use your pen tool again, and you want to just go around. Go that one there, look. Just go around and then join it back up again. Now you made this shape. You want to click inside the shape or whatever. Go to fill path. Make sure the use is on foreground color. And click OK. And there you go. And that's one of your lines done there. Look, that's one part done. And you want to just do this on all the parts where it's all white and everything. Here, for example, This one here, look. You might go a bit out sometimes, not to worry about it. You know, you can just use the eraser tool and just take them out. For this, for this, I'm just gonna quickly go through it a sec. Fill that one there. This one here. The path. Now you're gonna just go around and do all of this, and then fill the path. There you go, and that's all your 3D done. Now it should look sort of like this. Bear with me a sec. Let me just it should look sort of like that. Don't matter about these effects here. This is what I've added and I've rasterized it, and now I can't get them. Well, I can get them off just that. I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. So there you go. And like I said, what I prefer to do is I like to have it orange color. And I'll tell you why later. What you want to do is you want to just double click on your 3D part where you got all this red here. You want to go to color overlay and then make it exact same color. Click OK and rasterize it. Now what you want to do above where the 3D part is, where you've done all the color here and you've just changed the color of it, like you've just seen. You want to add a new layer above it. You want to right click, create clipping mask. You want to change the color of it to black. Use the paint bucket tool. Click there, and it will turn it all to black. Then what you want to do, the opacity, just turn it down to about 25 or 20 or whatever, and it makes it a bit darker. So now it looks, more sort of 3D. Then what you want to do is you want to just right click here again, and just merge down. And now you change the color of it, so yeah. Now, what you want to probably do next is add some effect to your 3D part. Now what I like to do is that again, just create a new layer above the 3D one. Create clipping mask. I want to call this effect. And you want to go back to your brush tool again. Now what you want to do this time is you want to use a soft brush. Put the hardness all the way to the bottom. Change the size of it to about 15. And make sure it's on black. Now what I'm going to do here, look, is add a bit of effect. You want to go to like not all the lines, not the ones that are like next to the 2D, like here. You want to leave this part here. But what I like to do is just add some effect to it. Now we're gonna just do the thing again like you're doing with the 3D lines. Just click in that corner there. Just follow the your outline of your 3D part, and just make sure this is all sort of in sort of thing. Then click thingy. I got confused. Sorry there. You want to just once you've done that and you've got it there, sorry. You want to right click, go to stroke path, click the brush tool, and as you come up with this sort of black looking it's black anyway. You want to just create this sort of outline shadowy thing. You want to do this on all your lines, not just the 3D ones. You want to leave these parts like you can see here. I want to do this. You want to do this on pretty much all your lines. So one there, look. And I'm just gonna sort this out. And whilst you're at it, you'll get it over. You'll get it over sometimes, like I have here. Don't worry about that. All you need to do is just change your opacity down. I like to have it on 30. Yet again, go here, get your eraser tool, and just go along your line. So now you're getting rid of the part you don't need. Like this shouldn't be here, so I'm just gonna go across and get rid of it. There we go. Okay. Like I was saying again, look, just click there, there again, and there. And then just stroke path. You know, it just brings out a little bit more effect into it. You know, I think I just prefer it. You know, I didn't used to put it on, but then I stopped. When I first started doing this sort of design, I did put it on, and I sort of got rid of it. I didn't know about it. I was a bit hit and miss at first. You know, I prefer to have it now, sort of thing. Even though you can't really see it that much, but you know, it just brings it a bit more out. Makes it look better. Okay, so now you've got that. Then we'll probably add your effect on this part. And just add back the shadow and stuff there. So now you're on this part. So now you probably want to add your dots and you know, all your effects you got on the 2D part. So what you want to do is you want to just click on the 2D part. You want to double click it. I'm going to go to pattern overlay, and it will come up with this is like my settings. I've already got it, you know, make default, so it just sets it normally. So yeah. So what you want to do is you want to go to pattern, and it'll probably be like this pattern here. And it'll be like all the way turned up, or whatever. It'll probably be on 100 or something, won't it? So yeah, it'll probably look like this at first. You want to change that. You want to get the dot pattern you just made, and the scale of it. Put it down to about 3 or 4, whatever you prefer. You know, 3, 4, 2. 2 you can't really see, but I'm gonna put it on 3. And the opacity, I had to put it on 30. The match is here. You also want to click on inner glow, and for this you want to turn the opacity all the way up, change it to black, and I prefer to have it on choke 5 and the size 35, and then the opacity change to about 30. Click enter, and then rasterize this. Then you want to click it again, go back to inner glow again, make sure it's on white, turn the opacity all the way up, put the choke all the way up, and the size set to about 3. You know, and there you go. You got your 2D effects there. Now we're coming on to like the final bit of it all, and that's making this effect here, the spikes looking thing, the spike looking thing. You know, I had this on the 3D and the 2D parts. You know, but it's really up to you if you want to add it or not. Or add any other effect, like, you know, just lines or whatever. But I'm just going to show you how to do this anyway. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure you got your rulers on, and you click and you got it on 2D, so you get right in the middle of it. And you want to just, you know, drag it down. Make sure you got snap on as well. If you go to view, oh my bad, go to view, and make sure you got snap. It will say a tick next to it. So now it's in the very center. And what you want to do, you want to create a new layer above the 2D part, and you're going to call this, I'm going to call it spikes. Right click, go to create clipping mask, and now you've got this, you know, now you've snapped in, it's all in the middle. You want to take the snap off again. I'll show you why in a minute. So what you want to do now, make sure it's on black. Use your pen tool, and the reason now you want it off, you want the snap off, is if it was on, if you did the line, if you did the spikes and everything, it will just keep going like that every time. It wouldn't move. So yeah, it makes it a lot easier. What you want to do, you just want to just keep going, you know, just click on one part, you know, just click there, or whatever, click there, and you want to just keep going, like, you know, up and down with the pen tool, just really close, just, you know, just click it up and down each time, simple as. You know, this gives it like a really cool, you know, illustrated looking effect. You just want to keep clicking this, just keep going, all the way. It might take you about a couple minutes or so. So yeah, you know, just keep going there. Yeah, just going, you know, just up and down with it. You know, just do different sizes of them as well. You know, just keep going, just like this, just all the way along. And and if I was you as well, if you're using a PC, a laptop, whatever, like I am, I prefer that it's best that you buy a mouse. Doing this with the actual pad thing, whatever you call it, will just be a lot harder, I reckon. It would be a lot quicker as well using the mouse. So yeah. Yeah, you want to, like I said, you want to keep going, just up and down with it, different sizes, because they get to the end. Okay, so now you've done all that, and you've got these little dot things here. You want to join it all up, so you want to go all around the bottom of it, and then click there. And now you can see, it's made this. There's no more dots or anything there. And then you want to just right click, go to fill path, and make sure it's probably on black. You want to have it on black here. Look, and click OK. So now you've got your spikes. What you want to do then is the opacity change it to about 25 or 30 or whatever you want to have it on. Probably get rid of your ruler as well. So there you go. You got your spikes effect there, and then you want to go down to your 3D part now. Do the exact same thing again. Just duplicate the layer. Call this spikes. Create clipping mask. And then just do the same again. Just literally just keep going. The spikes again. Just keep going. Ooh, I did it wrong. I did it wrong there. Sorry, guys. Sorry. What you want to do is you want to make it like that, different sizes and stuff. And what I prefer to do is I make it have it on the same sort of line. If you do it like like I did there a minute ago, where I did it, going out under there, it doesn't look as good. I've done it before and I didn't like it. So yeah, like I said, different sizes. Just keep going all the way along. It probably will look like a pattern, or like the same again, like I've done it there. Look, was trying to avoid that because I do it all the time. So yeah, like I said, just keep going along. I'm going to do this bit and then I'll show you when I've actually done it. All of it. And I'll so because it's going to take me a while to do all of this. All of that, all of that. So yeah, I'm going to show you this little bit here. And then when you get to like bits like I am now, when you get to the lines or whatever, and you need to change. Just to go a different way to do it at an angle or whatever. So yeah, just keep going across again still. And just put it at an angle. And just keep going like that again. Really simple. And this is probably one of the hardest parts about this, like, just going like this. It just gets, because like me, like I was when I was doing this for the first time, I just got so, bored of doing it, yeah, I don't really mind it anymore, but, yeah. See, you want to just keep going like this until you get to the end. Okay. So you want to make sure it's also on the black line still again. So if you go over here, it's going to look really dodgy. You want to just make sure it's still on the black line there, look, and then just go around again like you saw with the 2D part. Join it all up. No more dots anymore, look. Right click, fill path. Make sure it's on black. Just click it. And then just change the opacity down to about 25. So yeah. And I'll show you again when I've done it. All of it. Okay, guys. So I've fully finished this now. As you can see, it sort of looks a bit sort of similar to that one, just the color. But what I like to do to add sort of more, you can change to make it change color and stuff. Is if you just create a new layer above it, use the paint bucket tool, change to whatever color you want. Like for example, if I used it red, you won't see it. If you go to here and click hue, it'll change the color of it. You can do this with blue, for example. You can do it like a light blue. a green, dark green, purple, sorry, sort of darker blue. Yeah, you can do it with any one you sort of want. And like I said, you can also do it with text. This is something I made for store drafts. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you like it and like the video. And also tweet me your designs. My Twitter's in the description below. And I'll also put a Mediafire link to this one here, which I've just made, to show you know how it's all done and what it should look like and everything. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys later.